A woman is viewed as a vision carrier of generations and a great pillar in any society. However, women face a number of challenges even as they carry the noble title of carrier of generations. Their numbers in leadership positions, especially elected ones, are very few despite them having a bigger share in terms of the world's population. Records show that women in decision-making positions are far way too low compared to their male counterparts due to varying reasons. According to the Women in Politics 2020 by the Interparliamentary Union (IPU) and the United Nations Women, present global rankings for women in executive, government and parliamentary position as of January 2020 shows that after 25 years of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, which set the international target for reaching a gender balance in political decision-making, women are still underrepresented across all levels of power. At continental level, according to the IPU, Rwanda is a shining example. And nationally, the records cannot go in any close range with what is required. The numbers are so low. Recent assessments after ratification of the SADC protocol in the Women in Law in Southern Africa WILSA 2017 report on gender links to stakeholders, which reiterates the quota systems and 50-50% gender balancing, still shows that Zambia is very poorly ranked. For instance, on the Gender Links Barometer, and by headcount out of 156 members of parliament in the National Assembly after the 2016 elections, only 26 are women. And the situation at local government is not better according to a 2016 general elections report by the Zambia National Women's Lobby. But what makes the numbers of female low compared to those of male in elective positions with a bias towards politics?
The biggest challenge that the woman can face, first of all, is discouragement. When you just pronounce to say you want to join politics, the first opposition you're going to face is going to be your family. Just getting over that discouragement is an achievement.
If you're going to get into politics and campaign, you really need to have money to campaign. So that is what deters a lot of women. Secondly, just the social sector doesn't really encourage you to get into politics. Everyone says politics is a dirty game. So you find that your spouses and your family are not really supportive of you taking up a career in politics. In other areas, just being able to move, our constituencies are very vast, and just movement and transportation from one place to another prevents women to get into politics. And also our political parties. I feel that we need to have more policies that encourage women to get into politics.
When you're a woman and then you come up and say I'm a politician, the first thing people will give you is that, shameful remark to say, why did you decide this? These are dirty, these are what? Generally, women are looked down upon, like you don't have to do it, others can do it. Why are you doing it?
First of all, when I was trying to stand as a councillor, obviously I was fought at that time, and I think that's when I realized that politics are not that easy as I thought. Okay, men think that politics are for them. I think it's the ego, I should say. They want to be up there, to be recognized, and then they want people to praise them or something like that.
A lot of women are failing to get into politics because they fear the violence that is in there. You know, there are a lot of insults, name calling, you know, so we have a lot of educated women out there, but they can't join politics because of the violence that women go through. You know, we are not as strong as men, so it is a very difficult thing for us.
I was on a campaign plea with the late Michael Sata.
Women in politics have their perspective of the national context on account of the time spent, studies, and experience.
I joined politics in 1991 when the movement for multi-party democracy was just formed. I was a minister in the second MMD government. To be a politician and a female politician, I can confess it's not easy. It is a very difficult, situation in that culturally, some people believe that politics is a male's world, and to venture into it as a woman, you really need to be very, very strong.
And then I found some writing on the wall. We don't want the Lomas. So I got surprised. Where is this coming from? And this is what I'm talking about in politics. Cadres are used to do such things. You see, wherever I go in this ward, I go to an office I'm paying, I find that again. What is happening? And I didn't know. So when it came to time for adoptions, somebody else was adopted. I must say I was very disappointed. I've never forgotten that. But I accepted. I said, it's fine. Maybe I would have been an MP at that time. You see, and that's 2001. How many years ago? About 19. You see. So I've never, you see, that's why I'm saying my dream. I've always wanted to be. I've always wanted to be an MP. But then, you know how it is.
People thinking that women can't deliver. You want to achieve something, but they will keep on bringing you down, thinking you can't deliver. They would rather choose men to replace you. It's about being vulnerable. You would find that the key offices are owned by men. So you'd find you want to achieve even more in politics. When you're trying to push, someone will be asking for something.
We don't really support each other, especially where you think, oh, this one, why should she be like this? Hope, you are jealous to each other. We don't really support each other. But I always pray to say, why should we be against each other? I don't know how we are made. I think we're made like that. We're too jealous to each other.
Financial challenges. That's the first challenge in us women, because we don't have that sound financial muscle. So as a result, it becomes a challenge to us as women. Our men, they have a sound muscle financially. They are sound, but then you find that competing with them, it becomes a challenge.
Watching from a distance and a different field, they feel the political space has to be dominated by women if change is to take shape.
Actually, I never ever dreamt of ever being a politician at all,
And the governor's advisor would always joke to say, Sabah, the UN and the Ministry of Gender is doing this program about women representation in politics, and I feel you're in the wrong career. you are this side. It's supposed to be the other side as a politician. You have everything that it takes, So I was like, oh, really, you get the point. But it was never really in me at the time. The UN first of all did expose me to that, and then Save the Children did that even more. So when I saw the kind of problems that the women and children were facing in the country, I felt that I think I can do more, especially in terms of policy, to have the right kind of policy to help the country move forward. Just you being a woman and being in politics, you're viewed differently, and there's so much verbal abuse of the women, So that, to me, I think it's the biggest challenge.
It was not a dream of mine or an aspiration to be a politician. I think in life, it just came along the way. My family is very career-oriented. My father was like, you're going to do medicine. My brother's an engineer. My sister's an accountant. So life was very structured from when I was little. Politics was not in the picture. But as you evolve and you're moving in life, you realize that it's the politicians that decide how our lives are really going to be.
A lot of women don't have the financial capacity. So for them to penetrate, to be out there, those that don't have the stamina will be subjected to sexual harassment. We also have illiteracy. Not most women attend education. A councillor, a mayor, an MP has to have a grade 12 certificate, and you know that a lot of women haven't achieved that, especially in the rural areas. We have gender-based violence, and we have a lot of name-calling in the political arena as a woman, because they look at when a woman goes into politics, they think maybe you are there sexy, or you are just there to sell yourself. You are not there to save humanity as it is.
The women in politics have come to agree that violence is one drawback in the field.
Yes, because our men, they can stand and fight back. But look at us as mothers. We can't fight back, because men, they can defend themselves. As for women, we can't defend ourselves. So as such, we are the most vulnerable.
It is very difficult for women, to freely participate in the governance of this country, because they fear to be beaten, they fear to attend meetings, they think that, whenever you'll be at a meeting and then there will be confrontation, and then how do you run?
We face a lot of violence. Like me, I had an experience when we were doing some campaigns. Men feel like, us being, not necessarily us being weaker vessels, but they feel we are weaker vessels, and then they would want to, show us that they really have those territories theirs.
And for me also, I always say that I am lucky that I had an artistic background, or I do have an artistic background, rather, so to say. So I think I developed thick skin as an artist. Then you come into this, which is actually worse. I think in politics it's worse, yeah. But you just have to just bear it. It's so sad. And for me, that's the reason why we even need more women, because the more they see women in politics, the more they'll get used, and they'll be, okay, it will be a normal thing.
Violence does not just happen in the vacuum. Most of the times it's sponsored.
And some have sad experiences.
It was in 2016. We went for a rally there. The way we left the place, do you know that they came to the stage after the meeting? The cadres attacked. They just came to us, ruling party cadres. I'm just telling you what I went through. They came to the stage, they started stripping all the chitenges, whatever we had. Those that had chitenges, imagine if you have a wrapper around you. They pulled our wrappers. We had to be whisked away. But we were just praying. Lord, let us just leave this place in one piece, please. Wherever you would go, they would always follow you. And I was almost punched, It's just that one of my followers had to come in, and then he was the one who was punched. So it's really sad. It was really terrible. Imagine you're conducting a meeting, and then you see policemen come harassing you, and then having all the crowd dispersed, and then you just remain standing like that. So it was really a hard feeling for me, where you'd think, why are they doing this to us women? There are times that you'd hear men holding meetings somewhere, and maybe no one would even follow them. Now they really wanted to frustrate me. They really wanted to bring me down so that I should not hold meetings that I was supposed to hold. So it's really terrible. For a woman, it's really terrible. It hasn't been easy.
I was intimidated, and I was left. I wasn't adopted. on those grounds, because the person who was adopted intimidated the whole process because of vote buying. So that was my biggest challenge, and it actually hated me, because I didn't expect that such things can happen in politics. And I would hear about it, but I kept on saying, no, it can't happen, because if you are popular, the ground wants you, the party that you belong to will look at those grounds. It will be a comprehensive thing when it comes to elections, and that's not what happened, and that's not what happens in the political arena.
Reasons of violence, especially violence against women in politics, is why the initially 2002 founded Zambia Inter-Party Bureau, now Zambia Center for Inter-Party Dialogue or ZCID, a non-for-profit local organization in partnership with Humanist Organization for Development Cooperation or HIVOS and the Zambia National Women's Lobby are working to finding solutions.
I participated in the 2016 January election, and I remember that in the constituency that I was, out of 51,000 registered voters, only less than 15,000 went to the polls and cast their vote. Not only was that so, but it was later discovered that that was the situation across the country. The new president then, Mr. Edgar Chagwalungu, commissioned an inquiry to find out what caused the violence, as well as also what caused the voter apathy. As a result of political violence that this country witnessed, particularly in provinces along the line of rail, there was a particular compelling reason, something that opened our eyes at ZCID, and that is to say that women shunned away in the 2016 general elections. They opted to stay home. Women did not come to participate as candidates. Women did not come to the fore to participate as well as voters. And it is from that scope, or it is from that angle, that us as ZCID said, what can we do to make sure that we bring our women folk to the fore, to make sure that they participate in the electoral process, as well as in the democratic, in the development of our country, if we put it that way. And that's how come we came up with this concept.
But we want them to come out. We want them to come to the fore. And then we discovered that they could not come out like that because they were saying political parties are violent. When it's during election times, they cannot afford to be part of people throwing stones. As you know, a woman is one that ensures that the family is okay. So women have decided to say, let me just stay away so that I can keep a family. But in trying to stay away, they have decided to silence their voice. Therefore, we have come with a project from HIVOS to ensure that violence is addressed. We have come with this project supported by HIVOS together with the Zambia National Women's Lobby to see to it that all the underlying issues that women have got are addressed by political parties. We want political parties, men especially, to be our agents of change. We want them to be our message carriers.
Some women, are branded. Some women are insulted. And women, because of their nature, they will just stay away. All those things need to come to an end. Now we've actually witnessed what we are calling cyberbullying against women. Just because you are a woman and you are influential, you are in an influential position, or you want to participate in an election, all of a sudden, all the bullies online are directed to you. We want to bring that to an end. We also want to, through all this process, we also want to create a platform where women can come out in the open and say that, me too, it has happened to me. So we're really encouraging women to come together and stick together.
Well, what could be the remedy for this huge challenge that women face in politics?
The first thing that can be done is for presidents of political parties to actually just say no to violence to begin with.
We need to do more capacity building for cadres. We can't just be using people's children.
Every person has got the right to choose which political party they want to belong to. When we reach that stage, political violence will end.
The later president, Mr. Levi Patrick Mwanawasa, did make a statement to say, the MMD and I will not support political violence. Any cadre that will be found wanting, you're on your own, we won't support you. And political violence stopped within a day in this country.
The people that organize, violence and use the youths to engage themselves into these unholy, activities should stop, because it's not worth it.
It also starts from the leadership. We need to teach our youth to be peaceful and not to fight, especially when we're going towards the elections.
Unless if we have a good leader who can put up good policies, that's the only way political violence can be ended.
Imagine some women in politics are even threatened with, where they're threatened, they'll be raped. That should not be the case. So we really need to outlaw this. It's criminal, and we are urging government to step up. And we want to see actions. If someone is jailed, if someone is punished, we need to see those actions reported in the media to say this is what has happened, so that people can know that this is no longer fashionable. This is outdated kind of doing politics.
Only if the environment is free of violence against them, they, for sure, have great aspirations.
My dreams is to become a member of parliament, and then of course I want to be appointed as a minister, so that I'm also part and parcel of the decision making of this country.
I would love to become a minister one day, serve the nation. Yes, I'm sure I can make a difference.
One day I would like to represent my constituency in parliament, to give the voice to women in parliament for my constituency.
I look at the German Chancellor, I look at Theresa May, I look at, what's her name again, the spouse to Bill Clinton. I look at such female figures, I'm looking at them that these are really bold. But what is different? There's nothing, really. I can also be who I want to be. And for me, being there will really settle me and will really satisfy me.
My dream is just to be a minister of health, or minister of gender, or minister of community development. That's my dream.
The aspect of low numbers of women in politics for an emerging economy and democracy like Zambia is worrying, considering that it has national strategies like the 7th National Development Plan, or 7NDP, which has an inclusive theme of leaving no one behind. Being a signatory to the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, on gender equity and striving towards attaining middle income status by 2030.
So no Zambian female politicians can really give an excuse to say, I've been shamed and I'll sit back. Because even those that are making it, they've been shamed before, but they stood their ground and they're achieving their objectives, and that's who I want to be.
I've seen a lot, but in my mind, I don't retreat, because I've decided by myself to say I want to do politics, no matter what it takes. I have to do politics.
My advice to women is that they should never give up. They should never give up, because when you give up, you have no opportunity to prove yourself. So you just need to soldier on, continue and claim the political space that we are supposed to get as women.
The future looks promising, and the Zambia Center for Inter-Party Dialogue, with its associates, hope for a positive election year of 2021 through this project of fighting violence against women in politics.
I think we are doing something right, and we need to give credit to the political parties. We've seen party presidents come and attend these meetings. They are about women, but we've seen party presidents come. We've also seen representatives from civil society to come and give input. And we are confident that come 2021, if we had a percentage of, let's say, 21% of women in 2016, I'm hoping and praying that come 2021 general elections, we should be able to go to 50% representation in terms of candidature, as well as perhaps this is a time also to have another female candidate, you know, in 2021, just to ably represent our women. Our women fully utilized, they can become strong contenders and partners in the development narrative of the country.